Hello, and welcome to Howling at the Moonsault, episode 2. Yes, episode 2. Where we are covering Summerslam 1998. I am Malteser Falcon, as per usual. Eloise is also here. Over there, the wrong way. Say hi, Eloise.
Somewhere. Hi.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Yes. And joining us for the first time is a guest. Ooh. Someone who's actually alive. And actually saw this pay-per-view.
I was 10 years old when this happened, for one.
That was 10 years old. That was 10 years older than we were. More than 10 years older than we were. Yes. Down there is an old man.
On campus 88.
Yes. An old man called Chuck, aka Big Man on Campus 88. How are you doing, Chuck?
Chuck.
Welcome into the podcast.
Just I had to add the year I was born to boot. I know it's my Twitch username, but honestly, it would just be Big Man on Campus.
Well, it's your name, Chuck. So,
thanks for reminding me how old I am. Thanks.
Yes, no worries at all. So, seeing as we have a guest, though, let's talk about how. Let's get to know a bit about Chuck. I'm sure everyone watchers know.
Never heard of him.
Yes, never heard of him. Yes, he's the man who loves Shrek. But,
this is what I come on for.
Yes,
for another part of Chuck and his tormentors. What is this mess?
Yes, but for now we'll ignore Shrek. I don't think it comes up in any point in the episode. It's not been invented yet.
No.
It came up.
No.
But so, how did you get into wrestling, Chuck? When did it start? What sort of made you become a fan of the big sweaty men?
Oh, okay. So it started for me around with WCW around around 96, 97. With the rise of NWO and the Crow Sting, the whole Crow Sting thing that I was enamored by. I went to the Attitude era for a bit because mainly of also the games as well. I was a kid playing WWF Attitude as well as that was on the PlayStation. Then after that, two of the great wrestling games of all time, WCW NWO Revenge, and then years later, WWF No Mercy. Those are just two outstanding wrestling games. And then actually, a couple years after that, I think it was around the time Eddie died, I started getting out of wrestling for a bit.
Yeah.
And then many years later, around 2016, the Cruiserweight Classic happened.
Okay.
Which was an outstanding event overall that really got me stuck onto NXT mostly, and then mainly other wrestling stuff to this day, including AEW, which these two, especially Eloise here, for years has called me the AEW mark. For no good reason. No, I am a mark for wrestling. It's like...
I mean, based on some opinions, we'll see.
Yes, AEW is the home of... AEW is the home of professional wrestling, but I am a mark for all types of wrestling, I like New Japan as well. It's some WWE.
Are you sure currently?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's one of the things you can proudly be. I'm a proud New Japan.
Yes.
Because it's a bit.
Chuck just loves evil.
Look. The right man won Takeshita at the end. It's just why did it had to do it beating evil?
Famous,
but
famous New Japan wrestler. Konosuke Takeshita.
I think real quick, they booked themselves into a corner. I don't know. Yeah. And at least Takeshita got it out of it. He's a great wrestler, hot too. But
yeah,
had to hot as wrestling heat. Definitely.
Yes,
definitely momentum. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yes, momentum and all that stuff. Yes, not
no.
Anyway,
And so, what was your first memories of this? Did you watch this live? Did you?
No, I didn't watch this live.
Okay.
I didn't watch
so you didn't have one of them dodgy boxes that allow you to unscramble satellite feeds?
I did, but I was still kind of into more WCW.
Okay.
and I was trying to watch that stuff on the Squiggly Boxes live.
Okay.
But I did hear, I still did hear the lore a bit, catch the Raw too, but I was like so young at the time, so it was hard for me to stay up that late. Because my grandfather would wake me up 5 a.m. to get me to school, like the former veteran he was.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, I remember these memories though, and I did catch it again recently, and it was just, yeah, as we talk about it, we'll get an understanding of what the differences of like how we feel now about the editorial era to what is at the time, all this jazz. But yeah.
Yes, that's interesting. It's I guess this was the period where, well, WCW they weren't quite on top as such. This was sort of the
There
start
were
of the down.
competition. They were heated competition.
Yeah.
It is at the end of their great
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
I did remember the day of them being cocky about Mankind winning, and a lot of people just going over to USA
Yes.
to watch that moment. And what a mistake that was by WCW.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was yeah, I'm sure I might cover something around that at some point because I'm sure we want to get into late WCW film that entails.
I'm
on this
down.
podcast.
That guy got memories of that one. Oh
Yes.
gosh. It's like that was like their top 3 mistakes they made at WCW next to the Starcade finish in all of year 2000.
Yes. That was certainly one giant mistake, that was for sure. And
all of
yeah.
the year 2000.
Yeah.
Just smothered in just all this weird booking decisions, weird entrances, weird, just weird. The games, even the backstage brawl game they had for the PlayStation, and it's just all this mistake laden weird.
Yes, and to link it back to this episode, the person in charge in 2000, well, of course, the person in charge at this very moment, Vincent Russo, everyone's favourite, everyone's favourite crazy booker man. At least at this point, he was kept on a leash. But you could definitely tell Vince Russo was there based on the content of all of the Raws we watched before this show. So we watched about a month's worth of Raw. Fortunately, no SmackDown, otherwise that would have been a bit of a chore to get through. So it was only like 8 hours of stuff. There is a lot of absolute guff on there that has no relation to this pay-per-view. So much so, I've made a big list of all the stuff that was on there that we can talk about. So, first off, the Brawl for All. Everyone's favourite shoot fight that was involved in that was in the middle of a fake, predetermined wrestling show.
Yes.
That was obviously we pretty much saw all of it, I think, including.
Did we miss a couple of the first round matches? Maybe
we to be fair, no, I think we missed. Maybe we missed all of the first round.
Yeah, I think we got into the second round. So we didn't see the infamous Bart Gunn Dr. Death.
We did.
No,
I don't think we did.
I think we did because that came up in one of the episodes. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be in the episode you watched. Okay.
Maybe you didn't. I think we might have watched it, but yeah. I think all the things we saw was from the second round onwards, which, to be fair, which does skip out the first round, where about half the people who won got injured and then quit. So the losers went in anyway. So yes, so we had Bart Gunn, obviously the most notable thing for that was Bart Gunn, as already said, just knocking out Dr. Death, who was meant to be the scheduled winner of the real fighting tournament. Which, obviously that turned out not particularly well for Bart Gunn, who then just did nothing and then got his shit kicked out of him by Butterbean at next year's WrestleMania and was never seen from again. Yeah, great idea. It also injured a load of people, which was always fun. We also had Too Cold Scorpio and Farouk as a tag team, which I completely forgot existed. Yes, Too Cold Scorpio is still there. I think this was post the Job Squad. And on, I think it must have been the first episodes, as another team that completely forgot still existed was the DOA, the big biker gang men, who had Paul Ellering as the manager, who, again, another person I forgot existed. The DOA, I think at that point, were the Harris brothers, aka the SS tattoo people.
Yes.
So they
Lovely
are
people.
Yes,
that was a joke.
Yes, they are knocking around as they were in every single company in the 90s, and even into the 2000s with TNA. Sunday Night Heat. Sunday Night Heat had its first episode, I think, on after the previous pay-per-view. So they pulled that a lot on various shows with actual big people on it, which we then probably forgot about in like 5 episodes and put fucking Kai and Ty out. There was some booba.
Yep.
The bikini contest. Yay! There was a trophy. There was a trophy presentation. Then the trophy got broken. We'll sort of get onto it with the Sable thing. But yes, booba. We also had Brackus appear.
Yes.
Now I'm not sure. Do you know who Brackus is?
I do not remember.
So Brackus was a big fucker, basically. I think he was Finnish.
Oh,
he's German.
Oh,
right?
he's German.
Oh,
so
wait,
I'm
no,
confused.
that was another guy.
That was Ludwig Borger. So I'm confused.
Yeah, Borger.
Yeah. That was the controversial Finnish politician, man. No,
Yes.
Brackus was the bodybuilder man.
Yes.
And he very much was wrestling for a little bit. And, yeah, very, very probable roids, and he also had like chains along his chest.
Yes, it was kind of wearing
sort of like Scott Steiner on Wish. You know, it's not chainmail; it's just chains.
Just the thick chains.
Yeah.
He popped up and faced some guy called Jesus, who I can't remember who he was. He might have been Jesus Castillo, who sort of popped up as
it just said Jesus.
Just says Jesus.
He is risen was the thing I shouted about.
Yes. He rose and then he died.
And he very much, yep.
We also had the first. I think this might have been the first proper storyline Val Venus was involved in. With Kai and Ty, and it's of course Choppy Your Pee. Everyone's favourite. Surprisingly short-lived storyline. Like it seemed to end before the pay-per-view.
It does, yeah.
Didn't really make much sense. If you haven't heard it, go just it's probably been well documented on every other YouTube channel because Choppy Your Pee was a phrase that was said on WWF television.
Yep.
Yes. Certainly. Again, Vince Russo. Also had speaking of Vince Russo, the drunk Hawk storyline, where they used Hawk's real life alcohol issues to split up the Legion of Doom, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of this, Jack, or are you not?
Lightly aware. I kind of.
It's not good. It's really distasteful. So he just kind of shows up, goofs up, messes up, and then like some weeks he's drunk, some weeks he's not, and it's not.
Yes, and I don't think we saw the end of it. But this does eventually end at some point with Hawk falling off the Titantron, and I think Cody Line, he was passed off by Draws, I want to say, who then became one of the lead for a bit, and then
it was Draws.
All fell apart. Because that's how Vince Russo works. You do stories and immediately forget them. That's the Stridex pads and the Cube. They popped up a lot, including a Triple H poster that came free with some Stridex pads.
Yes.
Which we tried to look up. Sadly, there was nowhere selling it.
Yeah,
it's certainly a poster.
Yeah, in the madness of just the Raw and how sometimes it's unbearable to watch, we just kind of got obsessed with. Maybe I just got obsessed with just the Stridex cube that kept popping up. And yes, I very much want to hunt for the Triple H poster that somehow surely has to exist somewhere with the Stridex logo.
Yes.
I don't know why I want it, but I very much want it.
Yeah, you would have thought, seeing as wrestling was getting towards its high popularity, and there was a load of teenage boys watching. There might have been quite a few out there, but then I about to pull up and chucked in the bin. I've lost the time now, unfortunately. Yes.
Yeah.
We also had Tiger Ali Singh appear.
Yes.
With one of his very sporadic appearances on WWE TV in his entire career. Where he was doing the $1 Million Man gimmick of a poor person gets here and kiss my feet or do some.
There's a few of them.
There
was like he did at least 2, 3.
Yes.
The time we watched it, and they were all awful.
Yes, it was. It was. Again, it's just a $1 Million Man shtick, isn't it? Really, just the just a bit more grossed out because it's the 90s. We also had Vader going off with the hose. From a match to basically have the Godfather win by forfeit in a random match. The Vaders and then Bart Gunn appeared to stop Vader from getting the hose, I think. And then I think after that, the Christian Dustin Rhodes vignettes played, who I believe appeared on the pre-shows of this pay-per-view, losing to, I think, Gangrel in a very classic thrown together match. A couple of thrown together matches on this show, which we'll very much get onto, but the pre-show very much filled to them. Edge appeared in various places. He may or may not appear in this pay-per-view. They had a Bill Clinton impersonator on, I think, the second to last or last one. The one where Val Venus did a press conference about his penis, saying, "Oh, it's
did."
Yes, and they had Bill Clinton do a lot of Monica Lewinsky jokes.
Bill Clinton.
Yes, Bill Clinton, which was moderately topical, I guess.
Probably was.
Yes, so good job to WWF for being at least moderately up to date there and not relying on 20-year-old tropes.
Still probably very distasteful, but Vince found it funny is probably the only reason that happened.
Yes. And yes, we also had an Al Snow vignette, so he's coming back. With Head. What does everybody want?
Head.
What does everybody need?
Head.
A sense of personality.
Yes. Whoa. Does Chuck despise Al Snow?
Yeah, no, I did not despise Al Snow and the whole Job Squad. What is weird is like the only time I really got touch of that was like when he was by himself for the most part. I didn't know he had a crew with him. Like he just really was doing it by himself for the most part. But no, I don't hate it. I was just making a joke, a bad joke, but you know me.
That is true. Obviously, speaking of bad jokes, but these definitely does have some. Let's move on to the guff that's happening in the wrestling world. So there's a couple of bits I'll touch on that's happened in the month before.
Dave.
Big Dave. Thanks to Big Dave for his various ramblings and various misspellings of English towns. Oakstown. Yes. That's what it's spelled, Dave. I don't really get how he misspells it, because surely he just gets it via email with the actual name of the place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dave.
Big Dave. We'll start off with the start off with the most serious news I haven't done the month. There's Scott Hall getting arrested for, I believe, this was sexual assault or something along those lines. Maybe I think he describes it as groping in the Observer. So whatever whatever the relevant
the legal term,
whatever the legal term is. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's sort of part of Scott Hall's various sort of slide into his personal troubles around this point, which WCW would also reference later on. And yeah, just kind of the start of that. And Dave talked a little bit about how quite a few wrestlers are but sort of just coming back from rehab, just starting over again, just because of the general overall kind of schedule, etc. Just doesn't help him. Yeah, so I don't think this is the last time Scott Hall gets arrested. Sadly, and I don't think it's that long in WCW. Really, it might be middle of '99 goes. I can't quite remember because he definitely isn't there for the final few years, despite being mentioned a few times by Kevin Nash. Yeah. There's also just below this one, and something I completely forgot was mentioned. The UFC is in trouble. Basically, the pay-per-view provider does dropped all their events because of the moral panic that happened around UFC. Yes, it's very, very, very much the exact opposite of what's happening today, where the politicians seem to be very much sucking UFC's dick, basically. Yeah, do you remember much about the sort of moral panic over UFC, Chuck, from your childhood?
So, lightly, they talked about it. It wasn't really too big around me to really make that noise because most of their stuff was out west. So, because the main guy behind it, the Senator John McCain, was the senator in Arizona.
Yes.
So most of like the talk of this was out west instead out east, because they didn't really touch many places out east yet at that time. Most of their main events, most of their tournaments and stuff was in that Vegas, Colorado area. So I didn't really hear much about it, honestly, till like many years later, listening on history of UFC and stuff. And again, I felt like I've been too young for that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you would have been. I would hope a 10-year-old wasn't watching early UFC because some of that stuff was very, very. Let's just say,
we weren't had a chance to do it. It was like pay-per-view, so my grandmother, my family was too broke for that stuff.
Yes,
grandfather.
Yeah. Sure. We also had a WCW pay-per-view between the last month, which is Road Wild in 1998. Do either of you know what the main event of Road Wild 1998 was?
I forgot.
Not off the top of my head. I'm sure you're going to say, and I'm sure just by searching, I'll be like, oh yeah.
So it was a tag team match. Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff versus DDP and, of all people, Jay Leno having his wrestling debut, I think. Dave touched upon it a couple of times in the Observers, just saying that there were kind of various negotiations around it, including, I think, his musician man. I've forgotten his name, but he came out with him, and they came out with him during the match. Was also going to be involved, but he was too shit, basically. Which is pretty impressive, seeing as
Kevin Eubanks.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yes, it's pretty impressive considering Jay Leno's 40 odd and doing his first match. And surely can be surely can't be worse than him. Yes, which surprisingly wasn't the worst rated match, but according to Observer Reader. There was Steve Monger McMichael versus Brian Adams, which sounds horrendous. There was Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrero, which everyone seemed to like. Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis. Any versus Raven versus Saturn will probably be quite good. There's also stuff like the general stuff they've sort of put on the Road Wild shows because it's a free event essentially for all of Hulk Hogan and Bischoff's biker friends. Yeah, so lots of guff. I think there was the NWO Battle Royal that Goldberg won.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking at that right now, I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah. So there wasn't really much competition in terms of pay-per-views this month. Facing WCW. ECW, there was a really good pay-per-view. ECW Heatwave 1998, which I think is big one, which was on the same day as, or just after WWF's previous pay-per-view.
It was that wild promo by the Dudleys that had Bubba Way ended up heckling half the crowd with the Dudley family. I remember a bit of that as Heatwave.
Yes, I think it's generally regarded as one of ECW's best pay-per-view, or shows in general. So we had Marcel Sataka and Mike Awesome, who probably killed each other through tables. Just Incredible, Jerry Lynn,
yeah.
Chris Candido and Lance Storm, Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow. Rob Van Dam and Sabu was his higher boost than Jinsei Shinsaki, which sounds interesting. And then there was the Dudleys versus Dreamer, Sandman, and Spike Dudley in the main event.
Yes,
that
looks good. This does look good. Like,
yes,
obviously, like no wonder the best match on that card is Masaka Tanaka versus Mike Awesome. Like, those two are incredible. Mike Awesome, incredible.
Mike Awesome's great.
And any Mike Awesome match, I just love it because it's just so good.
We all love Mike Awesome. I think those two especially had like a good series of killing each other through tables. Yes.
They just knew how to just work a really good match against each other, and just it's always an awesome bomb for a table.
Exactly. Yes, and I think that pretty much covers all I want to really talk about. I'll probably do a bit more in an in-depth thing next time, but we did have a lot of guff to talk about on Raw this time round. So our first match is Val Venus versus D'Lo Brown for the European Championship. D'Lo Brown coming in as champion, of course. Chuck, what's your thoughts on this match?
I think the match had a lot of potential to be real good, only to end it in a weird, unsatisfyingly fart. I like D'Lo Brown and his European title run. I liked how he walked into the ring. He had this energy of him just bouncing around and stuff that, as a kid, I actually remember trying to do a little bit. Because I was remembering, like, I was trying to do a walk like Austin or a walk like D'Lo Brown. Because I also remember like doing like the head shake when going up to it. So it's like, maybe I was doing a little D'Lo Brown. And when I was a kid, I was also playing the wrestling games like Warzone and Attitude, and I remember trying to play as D'Lo Brown. And the match was good. I mean, I think of him coming in. He said they were from Helsinki because of his thing of being from different European cities, right?
Yes.
And I thought that's a cool part of his run that I forgot. And just the match was really looking good. It was really getting some good movement. It was starting to get into an ebb and flow of things, and then it didn't end. It just felt disjointed. It just ended on this weird fart.
Yes. And Eloise?
Yeah, I mean, apart from the ending of it, it was a good match. It was a very good, enjoyable match. There's lots of really good parts of it. I liked the heelish stuff that D'Lo's doing, especially with the chest protector.
The chest protector.
He had the chest protector, which commentary could not stop going on about the chest protector, which I assume was the point of it. But
they were trying to get over the gimmick of the chest protector hurts people.
Yeah, and I think if I remember in this match, both wrestlers would go for top rope moves, and they kept missing their top rope moves. They'd either go their opponent either roll out the way or knees are up, but they could not hit their top rope moves. And it's kind of almost like these two are almost equal. Both really good. How's this going to end? And then
and ends in a fart.
Ends in a just. It's ref bollocks, which would just wasn't enjoyable. It just felt kind of felt
Yes. So
it's just I'll let you explain it.
Yeah. So this match basically had no build. There was no real mention of like, any of the rules beforehand. Val Venus was just busy bullying Kai Intai, essentially.
Busy getting his penis chopped off.
Yes, busy getting his penis chopped off and bullying lots of small Japanese men.
Yes.
On the episode of Raw before, so not really sure why this happened. But these are two very young wrestlers at this point. I think D'Lo Brown hasn't been around for that long in WWE. Maybe like a year or so, and Val Venus literally only came into the company a few months ago. I think this is his second pay-per-view match after beating Jeff Jarrett at the preview. Although, fun fact, I found out looking for the cage match of Val Venus that he was in CMLL before this, where he won their heavyweight championship. He was under a mask which looked very weird called Steel. He's a wrestler called Steel, and the mask had like a grate on front of it, which is incredibly weird. But yeah, he was in CMLL.
Oh my god!
Yes, it's certainly something. It's not something you expect Val Venus to do. Yeah, so I also quite enjoyed this match a bit more than I expected it to. Really, a bit of a not a sleeper as such, because both of these are generally regarded as being reasonably good wrestlers. But there was like a nice sort of like almost like not maybe not of an old school sort of feeling, but there was less of a. It seemed to be not as fitting into an Attitude Era as we thought it would do. Like there was quite a lot of Venus selling the leg, as you said. The chest protector stuff sort of came up a lot. It was quite a bit of quite a lot of sort of almost basic but very well done executed stuff that's going on. And yeah, as I said, we're building up to Venus hitting the money shot, and then yes, there was some very sort of weak ref bump where Venus sort of just shoved the ref out of the way across the wing to do the money shot, and then the ref just which wasn't great. But match before that was pretty good. So yeah, I think I would say the crowd was weirdly almost on getting towards on being on D'Lo's side at points. There was quite a few D'Lo related chants, which is interesting considering he's part of the big heel Nation of Domination gang. And yeah, he's obviously meant to be the cocky guy with the chest plate that protects people. So yeah, it was potentially setting up, I guess, the face turn at both of them that he eventually gets later down the line. Yes, and yes, Val Venus had a decent showing for his first thing, and he'll probably go on to do various corn-related things later on. And obviously before the match, he did his usual innuendo-laden promo about how he saw and he came again.
Oh yeah,
which is good.
That's why in my notes I forgot the context of in my notes I wrote "Stop coming," and that's what the context was for me writing that.
Yes,
because the promo. I understand that.
Yeah, I think that's the issue of Valkyries. You just can't stop coming. As the years stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Because they don't stop.
They don't stop coming.
They don't stop coming. Yeah. Just in between that and our next match, we had to.
So 5. I'll do ratings 5.
Oh yes, so you only ratings, yes, of course. I think I gave that 7. Oh no, I gave it a 6 because of the ending. Sorry.
So 7. It'd probably be a 7 if the ending did.
Yes.
I give it I also give it a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we basically agreed ruined by the ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been good. Just in between that and the next match, we had Mankind backstage being interviewed by Cole in a very sort of weird promo where he's had a sledgehammer that he said he's going to use in the tag team title match. It's kind of wasn't even setting up what happened next, really. Kind of just a backstage interview they had, sort of fill time. And that time has been filled by, to get everyone out for, the Oddities versus Kai and Tai in a 4-on-3 handicap match.
Yeah.
This is also something that was not built up at all
No, it
in
wasn't.
the rules, but yes, that it did indeed exist. I believe Kai and Tai got the job as entrance. They were all in the ring, and then the Oddities came out and did their ICP hand wavy guff. Yeah, so the Oddities, it was Golga.
Oh wait, I think the Oddities didn't get an entrance, and it was the it was Kai and Tai that got the entrance, but the Oddities were already in the ring.
Yes. Okay, that's interesting. I'm assuming they were doing their ICP hand wavy stuff beforehand. Then
yes. I also have in my notes. Oh God, it's the ICP.
yes. The jugglers were here.
Yeah,
and they kind of just stood around.
Did nothing.
Not doing very much.
Absolutely nothing.
The insane clown posse.
Yeah. I think on some of the rules we have had them on commentary.
What?
Yeah, we had the ICP on commentary, yes, which was about as great as you could expect. But yeah, they kind of attached themselves to the Oddities along with Luna and Sable in some ways. Who I don't think appeared for this because she
had her tag match.
Yeah, but she was involved in some of the stuff with the Oddities early on.
For some reason.
Yes, for some reason. I think she assumed to try and get back at that Mark Merrow, but obviously we'll get onto that. So the Oddities in this one, obviously the 3-person team this time, were Giant Silver, aka Kurgan? No, Kurgan's Kurgan is Kurgan.
Kurgan's Kurgan.
Giant Silver is another massive bloke who I've forgotten who he was in WWF before. Was he even in WWF? No, he wasn't. Okay. No, he was just there. Fair enough. And then also we had Golga, aka Earthquake, aka Typhoon, aka aka the Shark, aka John Tenter, who is very much under a condom mask, carrying a doll of Cartman
Eric
to the ring. Poor John Tenter. I feel sorry for him having to do this. And then Kai and Tai. That's the full shebang for them. Dick Togo, Mensitio, Joe Funaki, and Taka Michinoku, all of which are actually good wrestlers.
Yeah, wrestlers. Yeah.
Yes, they very much did not. They very much did not have to show us this match. It was just certainly something.
I think at the time Taka was light heavyweight champion. I think
he was. He was actively a champion.
Yeah, he was light heavyweight champion.
Yep, and they very much did not seem like anything during this match. This was basically just sort of filler. Basically, I'd say just kind of like watch the big guys chuck around the little guys.
Kind of one of those like it goes back to like how wrestling got big in the first place in the carnivals and with the freak show oddities, for lack of a better word, between the tall guys and the little guys and just the one that was fast and moving around. I think Kai and Tai really carried the match a lot with their speed and their agility throughout. I liked some of the off the top rope moves they did, especially I give it to Togo and also Tio.
Yes, Mensitio.
Mensitio. They kind of were the ones that really spotlighted more for me with how quick they were and how much they were, you just felt like they really did a lot of the carry in that match with the moves and the things like that. And of course they had Golga, who was the most
competent.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Perfect. Competent. And then the other guys just were there. They were just there to be there.
Yes. The Giant Silver and Kurgan did not look like they could move at all.
No.
Which I can kind of understand because I think both of them had gigantism. Hence why they were fucking humongous.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was basically lots of slow plodding offense from those two, and Golga was the guy they, if you could say, got the heat on. Aintai got the heat on during their like brief fluid like towards the end.
Yeah.
Remember there being like quite a nice sort of like very quick sort of drop kick sort of sequence towards the end, which is like one of the only one of the few good things that happened in this wrestling that's happened in this match. And yeah, I don't know what to say really other than this existed as a match. Any other thoughts, Eloise, about this thrilling encounter?
I'm just reading and chuckling at my notes because there's lots of I don't so writing like how like moves. Sometimes I just don't write out. Oh, they did this. So I've got just lines like Golga fucks Dick Togo. Kaintai in the corner get bummed by Silver.
Yes. There was a lot of the sort of the chucking people into other people sort of comedy big squash things.
Yeah.
So yeah, like in my opinion, Golga was the only one that was decent on the Odyssey side. Obviously because it's John Center.
Yes.
Kurgan was okay. He was decent for a big guy, but the comedy stick doesn't really do anything for him.
He could very much do a nice sidewalk slam. He very much did multiple times.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Now, Giant Silver is awful. Doesn't move very well, and even when he does moves, they're very, very clunky. And that kind of cements the fact that I think his best move was when he he tagged himself in, and he almost like did a half sprint at Kaintai and cleared the ring. That was the most effective move he did. The rest were a bit shit. So him slightly running towards Kaintai was probably my highlight of all. Because the rest was a bit crap. Also, there was bollocks with Shu, stinky Shu that Yamaguchi-san kept trying to use, and then eventually, I think Yamaguchi tries that on Luna and then gets attacked by Luna right near the end before the ending happened. The double choke slam.
Yes.
With both the big guys choke slam two.
And then everyone got
pinned at once.
Yes, very not exactly the best look for Kaintai, to be honest. This odd thing they've been. I don't know. They've not been treated as that much of a joke. I think they've at least had Taka to be a bit of a threat. I mean, I think he beat Val Venus on one of the shows before this.
Well, he Val Venus was pinned by Taka. Yes,
he was pinned. But
before that, Val Venus had pinned
killed the rest
the three other Kaintai members, and then he had like a 5-minute match against Taka after that, and Taka then pinned him. But yes, you have to remember that. I think I got my notes somewhere that remember that Taka is the light heavyweight champion, and he just got effortlessly thrown over the top rope like it's nothing by Giant Silver.
Yes. Yeah. It really shows how the
big dude, little dude, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it just kind of shows they just didn't care about it at this point. I don't think that long of Gilbert winning it.
But yes, yeah, I had a thought, just gone.
Always. Do you have any thoughts on Giant Silver Chuck, everyone's favourite large man?
I mean, he makes Giant Gonzalez proud.
I was going to say he's very much cut from the same cloth.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's
like slightly shorter, I think.
Yeah, slightly shorter than Giant Gonzalez, but yes, he
was 7'4", whereas Silver's 7'2".
Yeah,
Kurgan's 7 foot, I think.
And Gold was just massive.
Golga's like 6'2".
Yes, and a Superman.
Yes.
So, fun fact: Giant Silver wrestled for 10 more years after this.
Wow.
Somehow, I think from what I've looked at, he was mostly in tag matches. He was also in early 2000s. He was also in early 2000s New Japan. which is
that's a rough time for New Japan during that time. It really
is. Yeah.
Inokiism in full effect.
Yes. And there was the very dynamic and fantastic tag team of Giant Silver and Giant Singh, aka the Great Khali, before he went into WWE and in his first year of wrestling, which must have been something to watch, that's for sure.
It would have been a sight for sore eyes, to make them even more sore.
Yes.
Yes. Like, oh, this is supposed to help my eyes, not make it worse. What do you mean?
Yes. He was part of the Team 2000, which I think followed on from NWO Japan, so contained lots of guff. So there was Scott Norton, Masato Chodo. Don Fry appeared in some of the matches, the MMA guy. NWO Sting was also there.
Yes.
And yeah, just various sort of people popping over for a little bit. Eddie Guerrero, Scott Hall, from WCW. Michael Wall Street, of course, everyone's favourite member of the NWO. IRS.
Yes. VK Wall Street.
Yes, VK Wall Street. Yeah. Also, a fun fact, I've just been just looking through some of his New Japan matches. He faced Hiroshi Tanahashi quite a few times, which I think must have been in his young lion days, because he got fucking destroyed every single time.
Had to be.
Yes, I feel very sorry for Tanahashi at that point, having to deal with both the Great Khali and Giant Silver in the match.
It worked out for him. He ended up being the ace and president in New Japan now. So
the Great Khali.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It'll turn out after Tanahashi, I guess, in the end. Speaking of it all turning out all right for someone, our next match is X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett.
To remember ratings.
Oh, sorry. Yes, ratings. I give that a 2 as well, because it existed. Chuck.
Ratings for that match.
1.5.
Decimals. So our next match is Jeff Jarrett versus X-Pac in a hair versus hair match. As our resident Jeff Jarrett's biggest fan, I'm going to hand over to Eloise to cover over this wonderful Jeff Jarrett match.
Yes, like for me to decipher my very incoherent notes.
Yes.
Like the first thing I have written here is Jeff's music sucks. So I didn't like Jeff Jarrett's music at this time.
This was he was carrying over the country singer gimmick from when he was last in WWE, before he left the WCW. First time. So he was doing that country bollocks.
And he was joined by what was his
Southern Justice.
Southern Justice, yeah, I just remember them as the Godwins.
Yeah, is his mates basically.
His taller country mates, and then we had the X-Pac intro with everyone's favorite seizure-inducing just mess of just like the videos cutting in and out, and it was not. It's never fun watching a Degeneration X intro. We'll get that later as well.
Yeah, we do.
I also have noted because Howard Finkel came out with them.
Yes.
Yep.
Because was it on Heat that Howard Finkel was shaved?
Yes.
By Jeff Jarrett. So
on the Night Heat. Yep.
You got a wonderful note from quote from commentary that I wish I wrote down who said it, saying I always knew Howard Finkel was a degenerate.
That was likely Jerry.
Yeah, that sounds like a Jerry.
That's likely Jerry. That's likely Jerry.
And then how Finkel tells Slapnuts to suck it. But yeah, it was very much it very much was a very quick starting match. Like they went out the gates. X-Pac, I noticed that X-Pac was a little bit sloppy. I was a bit disappointed with X-Pac because obviously what he's been known for, what he was at the time, he was a bit sloppy with some of his moves and just didn't read very well. And then he also kept doing like comical overselling. Like it's just
See, 1, 2, 3 Kid had something to prove, and had something to really get himself established in the early WWF with matches with Bret Hart, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon at the time, and other like good matches that really, really got him to really be established there. X-Pac and 6 in WCW just didn't care. Like, he had a gimmick and he went with it. He was finally in. He was cool with his click bros of Michaels and Triple H, and just he had his stability, his money, in the wackiness of his stuff. So it kind of, and it's weird. You think you'll get better through time, but it's like it's just like he lost whatever true drive he had to really be that, that fast, quick, cruiserweight that, and to be honest too, there wasn't really much room for it, even though there was the light heavyweight championship that was under Taka for a good bit, and Taka was in all these other weird storylines with Val Venus and random matches with the oddities, as we seen earlier. So it's like, where does that go in the sense? It's like it was just being the lackey of Triple H and DX. And it's just kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very much not WCW with the cruiserweight division, is it? Well, I think he would have fit in quite well, to be honest, especially in his early days.
I think so, but again, I think as well, it's like at a point in his career, it just looked like he was just cool where he was at. And you know what? Sometimes that's okay, but it's still just kind of left
a bit to be desired.
Yes, it just diminished like a lot of the matches he ended up being in later on, like this one per se.
Definitely.
And so with the so the other note I have written here is Jeff almost felt like he was carrying the match, which once again alludes to what we were saying, is it something we didn't expect, but kind of as X-Pac got on a bit, it maybe isn't surprising. But the ending was Slapnuts gets distracted by trying to punch Howard Finkel and then almost loses, and then Southern Justice distract X-Pac, and Dennis Knight, which was Phineas, whiffs a chair on X-Pac, and then X-Pac nails Slapnuts with the chair.
Yes.
I wrote chair, I meant guitar.
That's okay.
For the free. And so obviously the loser of this match was very much going to lose their hair. And we very much watched probably... What's good? I'd like to be one-upped on like a worse haircut segment.
Yeah.
But so we had multiple people out there, like the Headbangers, Droz. I don't know who else was out there.
There was the other. Yeah, there was DX as well. Those are both the Road Dogg.
DX was out there to help.
Yeah,
I mean they were mainly on the outside to make sure that
the boys
no one interferes. Yeah, and then they tried to cut it with shavers. They didn't work. They somehow broke them. So then they had like some of the worst scissors you can imagine. And they tried to cut, and it just wasn't cutting. And they just kind of gave him a slight mullet. But
didn't even truly cut his hair.
Yeah.
The segment was saved by the bald people in the ring taking Jeff's hair and putting it on their head, so they had some hair, and then start throwing and then they started throwing the hair around the ring as well.
Yeah, including like the look Howard had on his head.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The star of the show to me was actually Howard. Like Howard had so much energy and enthusiasm for this match. And I think it was just like one of the few times he really get to enjoy himself as a part of the show rather than being just a ring announcer, which he was great at what he did. Rest in peace, great guy. He did great at that. but it was just like it was one of the few moments where he could truly get involved in this and really just pull it out for there, and he did. I like that part at least. I thought it was great from Howard, especially his suck. He went all in with that suck it. It is like Howard, your dedication to the bit is amazing. Respect.
Yeah, I think this is also one of the few times where Howard Finkel actually got one up on someone. He's always been the guy they just bring out to be the butt of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is probably like him actually being happy he can actually do something.
Get one back for once, which is nice to see.
For sure. Yeah, it's very good summary, Eloise. The ending shaving thing, that was very painful. Like, how hard is it to get some proper shavers, and maybe just get expert to shave someone, or like shave something to teach them how to do it. So instead of just struggling through the hair.
I wish they got someone in there that had done at least like a BTEC in hair and beauty or something, or whatever the equivalent of like a very basic hair and beauty course in the US is. Just making sure someone, have you done your BTEC yet? Yeah.
It's you were right. I think I kind of noted down a couple of times where X-Pac was like a bit risky on his moves. I think there was a tornado DDT where Jeff Jarrett got spiked on his head a little bit. And
it's not even like good risky. It's just messy risky.
Yeah, it's just not caring, which is brilliant. I think that was a reasonably decent match. I think I would also give that a 6, just because, again, I think if X-Pac was a bit more in his game, I think this would have been a fair bit better. But yeah, it was fine under its purpose. It's another 5 from Eloise.
I give it a 5.5, mainly because of Howard.
Yeah,
gives me an extra 0.5.
Extra 0.5 for Howard Finkel.
Yeah. So I give it a 5.5.
Yes. Yeah, makes sense. So in between this match and the next match, we have the Wu-Tang Clan just being shown in the crowd. Not even in the front row; they were just in some seats.
It was mostly just Method Man, METHOD man. Yeah, that was great.
Yes, that guy.
Yes.
Yes. I'm very much opposed not a Wu-Tang Clan head.
I love Wu-Tang Clan, so yeah. One of the greatest winning streaks in rap. Like, they were unstoppable in the early to mid 90s. Like, they had like 36 Chambers. I think a couple albums after that, especially 36 Chambers, which is one of the most impactful rap albums of all time. So many great songs. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just laughing at how you explain this to like two of the people who would not know what's happening and also weren't alive during this time.
Yes, and I'm also two of the whitest people you'll ever see.
Yeah, extremely.
Yes, we very much know Wu-Tang Clan is a thing, but we know nothing else.
It's a rap thing, yeah.
Yes, it's a rap thing.
They did music.
We also
Chuck's dead.
Chuck is dead.
Chuck's being swallowed by his chair. Don't mind him.
Yes. Whilst Chuck dies, Doc Hendricks also appears. Everyone's favorite Freebird Michael PSAs. Yes, that's him. Backstage interviewing. Backstage. Well, not backstage. He was in the what is it? The theater, Madison Square Garden next door, showing the cage.
So a little bit about like this next match that's coming up and like how fascinating things were. So they had most of SummerSlam, of course, at Madison Square Garden, MSG, the main show, the main space. But they also had that Lions Den match you're speaking of in this smaller, more chested venue, the theater at Madison Square Garden. I actually went to the theater at Madison Square Garden many years later, for like a random thing, and it was a cool, quaint spot. Like, it didn't have the flash of MSG itself, which was funny, is I never went because I wasn't a Knicks fan. I hated the Knicks, but plus it was just like so pricey, these tickets in the first place. But like it kind of made sense for like a solid, pure wrestling show. And years later, they would have one of those matches again in NXT for a show where they had Stephanie Fakir face off against Julia for the double title. And that was a good match. That was overall a good show. And a part of it was that atmosphere that, that was really, that ended up working well. That kind of had instead of the cage, of course, it was square-sided ring. It was a four-sided ring, but it still had the feel of like a good atmosphere for wrestling. And I think I would love to see more shows like that at the theater at MSG.
Yeah. I will admit, it is pretty unfortunate that I think WWE have an exclusive rights over all of MSG. Oh, they get really good at AEW Dynamite. Just like the sort of the idea, any sort of like where they have the sort of the not seats not on all sides sort of thing. It's got a different feel to it. Which, I know they've very much going for with the stuff they have in Dynamite at the moment. Also, Chuck, just to remind you, there was a match in between this and the
fight bit's not next. And also, just to also clarify, I'm not sure I recall exactly what match you're talking about with the Stephanie Julia, but they did it before in NXT, a fight pit which was four-sided with a platform on top with the original one was Matt Riddle, Timothy Thatcher, and then they did Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher. Okay. So they did bring it back for that. But, they did. We can talk about that when we actually get to that. As we've got, I mean, I wish we could skip this one. Honestly, I wish we could.
Yes. We can't. I'm sorry, people.
You're fine.
Yes, we also had a Rock interview backstage who just said he knew Triple H's knee, and they showed the clip of that and from Heat, another sort of promo.
It was a mid rock promo. It was a mid rock promo.
Yes, on a night of Blair promos. This is another Blair.
It was a Blair promo of all time.
Yes. Speaking of Blair, my next match is Mark Merrow and Jacqueline versus Sable and her mystery partner. So Jacqueline and Mark, obviously Mark Merrow and Sable, the real life, well, maybe not at this point, the real life wife husband team who came to WWE. Mints very high on Mark Merrow, formerly known as John Reed Band WCW. But then Sable became popular and Mark Merrow got shit upon for it, basically. And Sable was put in front because she was a woman and had big boobs, I think, basically. Because she's not good at much else. Her promos are, she has one tone of voice, which she used throughout all the episodes of Raw she was on. And as we'll see in the ring, she's not. So we had Mark Merrow come out with his robes and Jacqueline dressed in some sort of boxing outfits. And Sable just comes out on her own. Up on the entranceway, I don't say rampway, but there's no ramp for MSG. She speaks into a mic, which doesn't work. So we do not hear what she says at all. And then we get Edge coming out from the crowd.
It's just Edge.
Yes. In Edge's debut pay-per-view match, maybe debut match in general. I want to say
it is his debut, is his debut televised match.
Don't think it was his debut match full stop, but
he may have some dark matches before that, of course. But
yes, okay.
His televised debut.
Yes, so we had one match on Raw before this where he beat Jose Estrada, great, by count out. But yes, so this is his first proper televised.
Yeah.
No, he was on Sunday Night Heat as well. The first proper sort of televised thing and pay-per-view thing. And also we had Edge sort of just hanging around in the crowds on the Raws before, so I guess they were sort of foreshadowing, oh, Edge is there, what's he going to do? Mysterious man. Ooh, mysterious. So we have the very weird pairing of Edge and Sable, which is a very odd crossover. As is Mark Merrow wrestling Edge in general. Yeah. Those feel like they're from two completely different eras. Never realized they actually wrestled each other. There we go, in this quality mixed tag match. So effectively, just basically some of this match is the men wrestle. They do some reasonably good stuff. Nothing special.
So the men wrestle.
Yes.
Almost implying the women don't.
Well, it is Sable. It is very unfortunate that Jacqueline has to kind of deal with Sable, who is not the greatest.
It's very like what's the greenish shade of green? Emerald.
Emerald green. Yeah. He's emerald
lime, green. Very lime green.
Yeah. I know what you. Well, no, and you know what? I'll shut up. I'll shut up. I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
What are you gonna say? You gonna say Shrek green? Is that what you wanted, Chuck? Because I wasn't gonna go that way. I was not going that way, and you're the one that brought it up.
Chuck, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Yeah. So we have Cope and Bad to start. And it does some quick moves, arm drags, etc. And then Jackie gets tagged in, but when Sable gets tagged in, because it's a mixed tag match, women have to face women, the men have to face men. At least to start with. Jacqueline gets scared and then just tags back out to Marmo. And then they do some more wrestly stuff. They get a nice DDT in. And Sable actually tags in for real. And we get some of very interesting brawling. Sable's punches are not great, I must say. And then the sort of again, it's just like we've seen Jacqueline. Like Jacqueline can wrestle. We've seen her do some like reasonable good wrestling matches in like later on in the Attitude Era and stuff. Yeah, he's just hamstrung by someone who isn't trained, basically, or has very limited training. And yeah, that's kind of the sort of the repeating pattern, really. Except as it goes on, Sable tries to sort of interact with Mark Mero and try and beat him up and punish him, and this ends up with what is pretty infamous burial with Mark Mero taking a Sable bomb, and then Edge does a downward spiral, which is his sort of spinny top rope move thing that I don't think he ever really uses that much. Yes, spinny top rope move thing, and then gives Sable an assisted splash, and Sable just pins Mark Mero. I thought that was probably against the rules of the match, but okay. Yeah, so yes, that's the Mark Mero Burial Tour 1998. Any thoughts on the match, Eloise?
I mean, the end, like last bit of the match, because the match was very much. Let's get up. The match was very much 8 minutes long. I'd say for a good 4 minutes, it was just Mark Mero gets absolutely just battered by everyone, including Jacqueline. Just Mark Mero just absolutely getting battered because he could like reliably take these bumps.
Yeah,
it was not good. Edge and Mero was all right, but it kept being interrupted by very bad wrestling. And just Sable.
Yeah.
Not a big Sable fan. Just
yeah, not the best. Chuck,
you don't like her, her entrance with the cow,
No, I mean, I have a couple of things written in here on my notes. The first one is the annoying roar. The annoying roar means Sable's here. And then the second one that I'm annoyed I didn't mess out was I wrote at the end of my notes that was Johnny B. Bad.
Hey. Comedy.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on the match, Chuck, that we haven't really covered?
I think overall, it's just this was the part of the times they really went after the weird demographic that we look back on. It's like, oh no,
teenagers.
Yeah,
horny teenagers, basically.
Yeah,
and horny teenagers and Jerry.
Yes,
she did the Jerry Lawler.
That is true. Yes, Jerry Lawler was very much pulling over Sabars. He always.
Yep. like if there could be a compilation of him saying puppies. Like there's just.
I don't think he said that, but yeah, I don't think
it's one of the few
I
times
think
he
the whole
say that.
Yeah, the whole
it's
pay-per-view
just
didn't say that.
overall as Jerry Lawler. It would be a compilation. It was stunning, actually. They didn't say it, but yeah. That I think you all said it eloquently as you could. This match just wasn't very good.
Yeah. Okay. Eloise is giving it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 4, mainly because of the Edge and Mark Merrow stuff.
It's great for audio listeners.
Yes.
Right.
I give it 2.
Give it a 2. Okay, that's nearly on par with the Oddities match.
Well, yeah, Oddities match was 1.5. So
yeah,
I'll give it.
No, you still have it above the Oddities. Good.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, good. It wasn't that bad. No, mostly.
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
So moving backstage again, we have Mankind having a classic mental breakdown because he's been told that he needs to defend the tag title by himself because Kane is not there. And then Vince comes in and Mankind's in his.
You know what? I'll give it a 3 as well because I know now what I'll give it to. Go ahead. Go the hell ahead.
Okay, right. We'll take the 3. Yes, Mankind backstage having a mental breakdown. Vince comes up because Mankind's in the sort of thinks Vince is his dad phase of his character. Vince calms him down and picks him up, and then he says a pretty infamous line, and he says he's got 13 words for you. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck a wood? There we go. I think I got that right.
Yeah,
you did, yeah. Oh, incredible! Yes. Best promo of the night, and it's not hard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a pretty notable Mankind promo. I'm sure it's there on YouTube. It's classic Mick Foley sort of swerving you a bit, isn't he? With the swerving your expectations. And then I think we get our first match package of the night, which is for the Lions Den match. Basically just summing up what's happened on Raw with Owen Hart and Kevin Jarnock having a Barney, Dan Severn existing, and becoming Owen's mate / trainer for this Lions Den match.
/ geography teacher.
/ geography teacher, yes. Yes, it's very much the I think you got it right. That's Dan Severn's the geography teacher teaches PE on the side.
Yeah.
In high school. And yes, so that leads us in to the actual Lions Den match. Owen Hart versus Ken Shamrock. This is
the basement.
As I mentioned, this is in the basement or the theatre next door. Yes, as I mentioned, very different venue, very different feeling. You can just tell this would be fit for MMA, I'd say, as well. Like they very much like if you have like the sort of a small MMA promotion, I guess, not a UFC, who probably sell out Madison Square Garden several times over because it's UFC. And then so we have Lions Den match. If you don't know, it's the ring, and then there's a weird sort of pentagonal cage that sort of surrounds the ring.
Yeah, glorified circle,
sort of going up like that angle, kind of looks like a shuttlecock.
Yeah,
I did call it a shuttlecock cage match. Like it's like a weird like cone with like a bit on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the refs are on top, sort of wandering around, looking down on the match.
Cameras too.
Yes. So we have Owen, who is the Blackheart, who is tangentially related to the Nation of Domination currently, although he just comes out on his own theme. I'll say comes out. No one's coming out of Dan Severn, not any of the Nation of Domination people. And then we have Ken Shamrock coming out with his banger dangerous theme, which is probably the most scary thing you can think of. Just sort of loads of sort of, I don't know, what are these bells and sirens? Just sounds. I love
that theme song.
It just sounds like someone's coming to fuck up your day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Danger. They had the danger sign, like
yes.
danger. Yeah, it's Shamrock.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a weird match because it's obviously in a very weird structure. There's no ropes. The cage walls are not very bouncy. They are made of.
Not forgiving.
Yeah, I think they're made of actual fence. But I think they actually did a decent job of this. It was like I don't. They weren't going for like a full-on fake MMA sort of vibe. Although they did have quite a few sort of technical, quite a technical start where we had trading informations and sold, etc. Stuff. But stuff like Ken Shamrock did like towards the end. Ken Shamrock did the big flip off the cage. I believe he got colour a bit earlier on in the match, just sort of having just been shoved into the side of the cage. Well, did you both bleed, or was it just Shamrock? I don't quite remember.
It was just Shamrock.
So the finishes, we have Owen is sort of pinning up Shamrock against the wall. Shamrock sort of escapes out by running up the side of the cage over Owen's head, and then locks on the ankle lock. Dan Seven has a towel, and he looks like he's going to throw it in, but he just walks away, and Owen Hart just gives up. Either way, for the tap out win. Eloise, what's your thoughts on this pretty unique sort of match at this point?
Yeah, it was good. It definitely helped Ken Shamrock do really good stuff and kind of helped like introduce him more. He loved jumping off the side of the cage. He loved it. There's multiple really good moves. He just loves like jumping off and doing like a DDT from the side of the cage. Like, it was a really good kind of showcase. And obviously Owen Hart's a very solid hand to put in with definitely. Ken. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was easily best match tonight so far. Like it was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
7 didn't do much, but obviously that's Dan 7.
Yeah.
I also have written in my notes Towel Boy looking menacing.
Yes.
So yeah, it's Towel Boy.
Yes.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah. At this point, Dan Seven is just there to sort of further the sort of Owen up, pissing him off by having his main UFC rival sort of appear there and look stare at him menacingly. And get him in some missions to win matches at times. Yeah. Chuck, any thoughts from your end?
Yes. I think this match, I looked at this match finally again. I think I seen it years ago. I barely remember at the time, but this match was better than I thought it would have been. I didn't really hear many good things about the match like years ago, and then really watching it again and how physical it was, the battle between the two, it still showed off how good of a wrestler they both were, especially Owen Hart, rest in peace. I think it showed how much they could really pull off with what was given. And this match is better than I really thought from the first go around to now, which for one of the other matches, which people will say is the show stealer, comes off for me is less good as I thought it was at the time. But this one was the opposite, and I really liked the match. Honestly, I'm back and forth thinking maybe this match was actually on the low match of the night. But yeah.
I think this very much gets overshadowed by what comes later on. Like, people kind of almost forget this happened because it's just such a weird concept. They sort of know
it's ahead of its time.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, like it's in American wrestling at least, no one really sort of thought about the fake MMA stuff, and obviously it was sort of a weird mix between the two. But that was obviously come to prominence later with, when various MMA put a couple like Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, etc.
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz.
Lola Vice.
Lola Vice, yes. Bobby Lashley, everyone's favorite MMA person. CM Punk.
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez. Yeah, I can say this was a lot better fake MMA than the Cain Velasquez Brock Lesnar fake MMA.
For sure.
Yes. I'm not sure how it can be much worse than that. Oh, jeez, that was certainly one of the matches of all time.
Yes.
Okay, so ratings. I'm gonna give that a 8. I just felt again really just kind of a refreshing change for the rest of the show. Really, sort of a different style and fitting in really well. Didn't outstay its welcome either. 9 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8.
7.
I also give it an 8.
So I think we all agree this is probably the best match so far.
Good, but not an 8. But it's good.
Okay, it's good. So in between this match and the next match, we get a Steve Austin promo. Doesn't really say anything other than don't trust anyone because Taker and Kane, etc. Yeah, just a sort of usual. Sort of Austin's there. Crowd goes, yay! We can see Steve Austin.
I thought it did the job. I thought it was all right.
Yeah. Nothing special, but yeah, so sort of hyped up the sort of hyped up the story line with Taker. Yeah, going into it. Then moving on to our next match. This is for the tag team titles. I mentioned this earlier, but this is meant to be Mankind and Kane, who are the current tag team champions. But Kane and Mankind had a bit of a falling out. Is the best way to describe it. Kane attacked Mankind as part of his alliance with Undertaker on one of the episodes of Raw, and obviously he's not here. The Mankind's have defended it by himself against the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn, and the Road Doggy Dog. There's also no holds barred and force count anywhere.
Yes.
Which I must admit, they don't make much use of the force count anywhere stipulation. They do like I think a pinfall midway through that is on the floor, and then it just really get mentioned again. And I think kind of in sort of classic sort of Mick Foley sort of going sort of handicap styles is very much a rabid fight against the odds, which was ultimately just ends up being battered essentially because he likes pain. Various weapons come into play: chairs, tables. I believe does the bin come out? I believe there was a bin towards the end.
I think so.
Yes, because I think the DX people the DX people bring out the bins because they're going to put Mankind in the trash or something.
They brought out a big dumpster.
Yes, that's the bigger wheelie bin.
Well, not a wheelie bin. It's a it's a dumpster.
Yeah, giant dumpster. Yeah, so we had a bit of chair jockeying to start off with. Which was probably the most that Mankind got in on this match, to be honest. Sort of the lightsaber back and forth with Billy Gunn, which is I always thought was a bit of a comedy spot, but I guess they need some comedy in this sort of match. I don't know what to say. It just becomes sort of the New Age Outlaws doing a 2-on-1 beatdown on Mankind using various weapons. Mankind refusing to go down for the free and getting a few hope spots in. To do I think the finish is they clam fill onto the chairs to start off with, but that only gets 2, and then they do a spike power driver onto the tag title.
Yep.
Which gets the 3. And then after the match, which is probably what's the most important thing about this match, they chuck Mankind in the bin. And then Kane just appears out of nowhere outside the bin with a sledgehammer and just kills Mankind, basically. In kayfabe.
Kills Mankind.
Yes, he was probably back on the next episode. In the bin, and we fade to black, basically. Yeah, so standard handicap stuff. Chuck, I think you had a couple of things to say.
The reason why I gave that other match a 3 because I gave this a 2. This match was by far the most hard way of doing things with this storyline I've seen. It made no sense. It was clunky as hell. You give it to Mankind trying to make the best of it with his comebacks, as he usually does. Mick Foley's always been great with that. He's always been great with trying to really be the comebacker, but it just didn't. It just had no. It had no heat. It had no feel. And I'm thinking in my head, aren't DX the faces? Like,
Yes.
Like, wait, what is this? Yes. And at the end, Kane killing mankind in quotation marks. What is doing this? What is going on? Why is it just felt all like it's like they were just trying to mock us. They're trying to think this was good enough, and it just wasn't, especially when it was the freaking tag team titles on the line. And it's just overall and just ended in just this mask of stupidity that just made me feel like, oh, they just it just kind of exposed a little bit on, yes, you had your main event scene. Okay, great. And people talk about how this is one of the better mid cards throughout the time. And it's just like, are we a little bit of like nostalgia bias here? Are we in that nostalgia version? Because stuff like this doesn't show that they actually had a good mid card.
Yeah.
Or even a tag team scene, which is just like, when you're doing ridiculous stuff like this and not really giving a coherent match, because and like you said, mankind came back almost quickly. You said it was like, was it the next night or next week after?
Yeah, I haven't checked, but I think he is in the next pay-per-view, so I don't think he stays out for too long.
Like, it's just like, are you kidding? And it was just like, you could have done a different way with this. You could have done a better way with this. Mankind trying to make the best of this. So I know I'm a bit early on ratings. I give it a damn 2 for that, and I think it's only better because of what we had early on with the weird tag match. And it's just like, this was so bad on so many different levels that just did not help anyone involved at all, honestly, in my mind. It just did not, whatever story it moved along, I don't know if it like continued or anything like that between Kane and Mankind, but it didn't look anywhere near sensical to continue it in their own way.
For sure. I mean, this was very much the this is the classic example of a storyline match where the actual action just doesn't matter, and it's just, I guess, also kind of a way to get on.
The storyline was shit.
They're not wrong. Yes, yes, this is very much a Vince Russo.
God damn it, big man and Russo.
Yeah. I guess did it turn Mankind face? I guess it kind of did, but it did having two good guys batter him is also a bit of a choice, as you say, because
like DX was posted as faces, like at the time. It was like one of few Triple H's face runs, but like, which we could say he never really was a good face. Like, it just didn't suit him. But yeah,
sure. Eloise?
I don't really have much more to say. I think you two have summed it up pretty well. Just that it should have probably been a Raw match, but it was also it also was a build that's been built up because it plays into
mid-event,
with Kane and Undertaker. But I mean, I don't think it is as bad as Chuck said, but it was not good. Like, it very much was like they were doing as much as they could with what they were given, and it wasn't bad, but it was very meh. It just flat. So it wasn't the worst match, but it was nowhere near an okay match. So.
And I didn't say the worst match either. I said that the tag match was the worst match, but this match pissed me off the most. Like, I was going into that other match knowing it was going to be bad, but I thought I'd get more than what I saw. I forgot this match happened. Yes, I expected more. I forgot this match happened, and now I know why.
Yes, this had the weird distinction of being too long, but also we wanted a bit more from the match.
It's not long enough.
Yes, it was somehow too long and not long enough, because it was it was just a bit boring, really.
Mm-hmm.
But same time. Yeah. So ratings wise, Chuck's obviously the 2, Louise
4.
4. Okay, I'm gonna be defensive and just gonna go for 3. Just yeah. That's what it's got to be.
Agreed. Yeah.
So for our semi-main event, we have a promo package with The Rock and Triple H. Didn't put much down about it other than includes the blackface segment.
That happened before y'all saw the
yeah.
This was the previous pay-per-view. Yes, but they very much included that in full on our very legally acquired copy of this pay-per-view. I'm presuming on Netflix / the wherever else it is on various locations. It's probably been cut out because you probably should cut it out. But on this, what would have been a home video release, I think, was very much not cut out. So yes, we saw Triple H in full blackface trying to be The Rock. Fantastic.
I mean, you didn't mention the worst of that, which was X-Pac.
Oh yes, because was he trying?
Mark Henry,
yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Yes, X-Pac was because the others were just kind of dressed, whereas X-Pac was in full offensive black face paint with a big wig and a massive fake stomach. Yeah, it was bad.
Yes,
it was bad.
The 90s, everyone.
Is Chuck searching it up to get it?
Oh my gosh! Motherfucker's the Shadow, and also almost the same worser version that was freaking Road Dogg. Road Dogg also went with it in a worser version because he did fully blackface. But what the fuck?
It's not good.
Yes.
I forgot about that. I remember Triple H, of course. I forgot because basically he's basically the background. You could the glasses you could barely see. There, oh, there's X-Pac. Oh, holy fuck, that's even worse than blackface. Holy fuck.
Sure is.
Oh my god.
They very much I was gonna say don't know what they were thinking, but this is the 90s, probably didn't think. Or didn't care. Either way.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Oh god.
There's a quote from Triple H in the DX book on his controversial segment. Rock was very sensitive about race. He came to me during the day and said he thought it was wrong and that we were putting black paint on our faces like it was a minstrel show. I explained if I don't go out looking black, then I'm not The Rock. Fucking hell. Fuck me.
Yes.
I forgot it all.
Anyway, I think that serves a great prelude to our semi-main event and the match that everyone remembers this pay-per-view for. Triple H versus The Rock in a Intercontinental title ladder match. Rock is the champion. Rock is coming out with Mark Henry and Triple H coming out with current girlfriend at the time, China.
Yeah.
In real life, not historically. So for the Triple H's entrance, we get the wonderful DX band. I think this is before their complete and utter ruining of the American national anthem on WrestleMania. I think that was next year's one. But they did a pretty terrible rendition of the DX theme that was playing along with the horrendous DX seizure-inducing Titantron, the full version.
So bad.
Yeah. It's generally painful to watch. And as far as no one noticed it, but they put it closed. Yes.
People who get seizures through that you avoid at all costs.
Yes.
Gosh.
Just avoid DX around this period. And we also had The Rock coming out in a more subdued fashion, just climbing the ladder for a bit and then walking to the ring. As is still almost a standard entrance in a ladder match at this point. So as this is probably one of the more notable ones, and there is quite a lot that happened in it. It's not quite as spot heavy as a current day ladder match, obviously. they were very much more sparing on the use of the ladder, and they didn't really fall off it as such. Any sort of spills of ladder was more from someone shoving them off whilst they were climbing, rather than doing big high spots off the ladder through a table like they do nowadays. There's more use of the ladders as a weapon during this match. In fact, the first 5 or so minutes was without the ladder at all. Doing some sort of, I guess, sort of what would become the usual sort of Rob Triple H sort of formats where they would sort of trade some sort of finisher attempts and then do counters and do some sort of nice enough wrestling to start off with. Triple H comes in with a knee injury, which was legitimate apparently. According to Dave, they just made the angle to cover for it. So we need to remember that Triple H is basically doing this with a knackered knee, which does make it extra impressive that he's managing to do all this guff alongside it. So I think before anyone really climbs it, I think they decided to use it as a weapon. We had Triple H just sort of swinging it around, hitting the Rock a few times. Then the Rock gets some toppy sandwiches Triple H in between the ladder and sort of squishes him. And I think for the first climb, Triple H's leg is knackered. He's coming in from the outside. And at the last minute, he manages to push the Rock off. But the ladder falls the opposite direction and just lands on top of him. Which I imagine must have bloody hurt, because that ladder did not look... looks like an actual ladder, in a sense, and not sort of the wooden sort of spray-painted ones that we have now. And we just kind of get lots of ladder guff after that. I must say, none of them know how to climb a ladder. They were very slow.
Nope.
During this match.
They were trying to give that dramatic effect like they always do. Like, these are two people that came into dramatized version of wrestling. They kind of wanted to be as dramatic as possible. You had The Rock and had his ways of like his emotions and how he does things into the ring in the first place. And you had Triple H, who a bit more physical, but at the same time also wanted to, put the drama into every single bit of moment, take his time. So yeah, they just was slow up into the ring in that sense. And it was just like these weird moments of it, but it caused like some good moments. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I was going to say. Like, pretty much all the ladder matches obviously made it for dramatic effect, but this is very much, I'm assuming, what they show people in the performance center when they are told to do a ladder match and tell them climb the ladder this slowly.
I mean, it's kind of different now. I mean, you look at the WrestleMania ladder match from just a few weeks ago. Well, I'm sorry, the SummerSlam ladder match. There was moments when they were trying to quickly get up there as quick as possible and to get it, and it was like they were matching speed for speed. I think it's a bit more of trying to get towards of like, okay, be a bit more about trying to get it as quick as possible, even though at the end it was a bit of a slow trudge up there for Gacy to go grab those titles for himself for the Wyatt Six to win. But I think it's a bit more different than where it was back then with that. But yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So it is definitely probably. I wouldn't mind watching maybe that WrestleMania ladder match and this back to back, because I say very different. This is very much more of a slower paced ladder match, more in the vein of the first Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels ladder match.
Yeah.
Than anything that really followed this. Anything after like TLC 1 very much became the sort of the spot fest sort of times. Outside of 1 or 2, I want to say.
The difference is like multi-man matches, you can get away with a lot more stuff, whereas you might have to be a little bit more like this, because in the multi-man matches, they do stuff and then they're out for 5 minutes at recovering.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't really get that in 1v1 single ladder matches, so they need to slow it down a little. Or if it's quick, it'll be a short match. But if you want it to be a normal length match, because this one was obviously like 26 minutes, so you're going to have some slow, ploddy, very physical, very deliberate spots to kind of make it more believable and do its job.
Yeah, and pretty much the main sort of story basically going through this match was Triple H's leg. Rock attacked the leg pretty much for the first half of the match, basically. Wrapped it around the ring post, did a load of guff to it. And then the following was, can Triple H climb the ladder quick enough to get the belts? He was able to obviously do loads of last-minute interceptions on the ladder and shove Rock off quite a few times. And vice versa with the Rock coming in, shoving Triple H off. There was a lot of shoving off the ladder in this one. More than you normally see, but I think this is because it's the main sort of way to do a high spot in inverted commas.
Yeah.
We also got a second ladder, which I think is a rarity at this point. I'm assuming Vince found some money down the back of the sofa to buy a second ladder from B&M's. Yeah. Yeah, it's very different to a ladder match we see nowadays, which
sure.
I would struggle to see how modern day fans would react to this type of match.
Yeah.
Just because the expectations have changed so much. Have you got any thoughts, Eloise?
I mean, I like it. I mean, I wish we see more of these. It's like I'm very curious how this would go down nowadays. You know, like just a different style. It makes it more interesting. But the only other thing I really have to say is I got really annoyed during the entirety of this match about how neither of them know how to climb a fucking ladder.
Yes,
and they very much. There's spots where they just couldn't climb a ladder. Obviously, this is to make sure they're slow enough and then the other person can hit their cue. God, it's so infuriating watching a grown man struggle to climb up a ladder, and it's yeah, that is one issue I have with like modern ladder matches is that you don't know how to climb ladders.
This is very much, I'd say, almost the start of this, really. I think the first Shawn Michaels had a bit of it, but this very much turned it up to 11, I'd say. Obviously, you'll say dramatic effects, and I probably don't think they really knew how to do a ladder match as such at this point. But this is like one of the first 5 they didn't. Yeah. So anyway, the outside people don't get involved too much. This is a no DQ match. I believe we have sort of China consulting off with, but not too. And China gave Triple H a chair at some point. I think it was in response to Mark Henry doing something, but I don't think I noted down on what Mark Henry did. So I get a bit more of a level playing field with The Rock. But let's get towards the finish, where Mark Henry really gets involved, where he throws powder into Triple H's face as he's sort of on the near the ropes. This blinds Triple H, but weirdly doesn't end up doing very much. I don't know why they did this at this point, because the match ended at about a minute. Triple H manages to climb the ladder about as well as he did with eyes, with the Rock on the other side. They're all going, reaching up for the belt. And China comes in, gives Rock a low blow. Rock falls off. Triple H grabs the belt and wins. I am slightly confused about the ending, I must admit. Like the low blow, and it's fine. It shows that China's there and interfering and getting back on Mark Henry doing stuff. But the powder seemed a bit excessive. I don't really. The point of powder is to give yourself a massive disadvantage, and then you just almost ignore it, and win within the next minute or so. That kind of sort of I wouldn't say let the match down a bit, or sort of tainted it, say. You got any thoughts on this, Chuck?
I think a bit more for me, it was the low blow that tainted it. I think that an actual more true finish to that match could have been better than just having China just low blow the Rock just to go down to the floor and then Triple H go gets it for the win. Like that, I forgot that it happened at the end. It's like, and people are still calling this a highly rated match. Like, I don't know. Like, like again, it just shows like the other match between Shamrock and Owen Hart is a better match than I thought. Because in this match, it's kind of a worser match than I thought from my eyes. Because I remember coming to y'all about it, saying it was one of the better ladder matches, and then watching it again, reminding me what the match actually was. Is like, wait, I may have been wrong. May have been wrong, and it's just because it's just, especially that finish, it was just. I didn't think about the powder very much. I just thought it was another part of the match. But the low blow, after all the physical fighting The Rock and Triple H went through each other, just felt like a mute point. Like just a point, anticlimactic, as they would say. And it's just like, Rock, get up, maybe get up, Rock, and so you can at least have a bit more of a battle before you lose. No, okay. It's just, I felt disappointed with it. What kept it up too was, I think it was the heat of the crowd. The crowd stayed nuclear hot throughout. Like they were into it in a very 90s WWE Attitude Era way. They just enjoyed the hell out of it. You've seen the flickering lights throughout with every big moment. I think that's where the height of the match to people giving it in that sense really was that, because in itself, the match wasn't that actually good. And I know some people may be mad at it because of like nostalgia, but I think it was still I think it was a good match, but like people are calling it great, one of the great ladder matches of all time, and I'm just like, no, not anymore with me. I thought it was, but I think it was a good but not great match.
Eloise, I think you had a bit of a look on your face when Chip was saying it wasn't a great match.
It's just I think it was a good match. I think it was. I mean, I don't want to spoil what happens in the main event, but it was the best match of the night. So yeah, that was all. It was just a slight disagreement with him saying it wasn't great, which I've seen better, but at this time, WWF, it was pretty decent.
I'll give it to this. The feud in itself helped it because they had a solid, albeit weird, street fight before it on Raw. The feud was pretty red hot though between Triple H and Rock. And that in that sense helped the match really give it its status as a star-making match, which I still agree. It was a star-making match for both Rock and Triple H. Their careers skyrocketed after, but it was just overall, like looking back on it as the match itself, it just doesn't feel as good to me as when I first saw it and hearing about it years ago.
Yeah. I know it sounds a bit of a stupid thing to say, but if you did this match with D'Lo Brown and Val Venus at the start, the exact same match, I think like the feud almost gives it an extra.
Yeah.
Like it was an extra bit of edge, and I think I think the crowd would have been as into it as it would have been.
Yeah, the crowd was red hot for this match. I'll give it that throughout the whole thing.
For sure. But yeah, so I guess a little bit that happened after the match, thanks to the home video exclusive that we saw. Yeah, the Rock walking backstage, refusing any help, and then cutting a pretty good promo into the camera with a nice bloody face. I think this is very much going towards almost a face turn as such, going towards the Stone Cold Steve Austin anti-hero character.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, but obviously that didn't appear in the pay-per-view, but that was like a nice little thing to add into the back of it. It was the only home video exclusive thing we saw. Very legally quite copy. Yes. So ratings, Eloise.
I want to hear Chuck's first, actually.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Because I think Chuck's will be low. And then
I think everything around it still gives it an 8.
Okay.
I will say it is like I know, but like it still was an impactful match in its own right. It's just like I guess in a way, I'll give it. No, I gotta give it a 7.5. What am I doing? I gotta give it a 7.5.
Slightly more. Sorry, I was more shocked.
I really like.
I was expecting you to give it like a 6 or something after what you said, and then suddenly 8.
I still thought it was a good match. I really did. A 6 is mediocre to me. Like a 6 to like a 4 is mediocre. 4 to like 2 is bad, and then 2 and lower is just horrific. So I think I think this still deserve. I think it was still a good match, just not great. And I think that the 8.5s and up. I give it 7. Well, I'm so mixing my mind about this. It's so weird. 7.5, yeah.
Eloise?
8.
Okay. I am also giving it an 8. I think this is very much on par with the Lions in match, and that kind of like both really. This is there's lots of good stuff in this. Would I call it great? I'm on the fence. It's I don't know. It's I think it might just be a bit. Maybe it's more of an in the moment thing. People look back and then go,
in the moment.
Yeah.
It was a star-making match. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it definitely was for sure.
So I think because I feel mixed of like even giving it a 7.5 because this is an impactful match. I cannot deny that. But it's like giving it an 8, where like the Lions Den match to me was a much better match than it gives credit to. Like I think that match was really good.
Yeah.
So I will say it 7.99. I'm gonna give
we're going to decimal places now. Okay.
Chuck, just round it up to an 8.
No, 7.99. Damn it, 7.99.
Which rounds up to an 8.
No, 7.99. 799.99. 99. 8. This match is 7.99.
We're going for 7.99 for Chuck. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mal.
Okay. Speaking of ratings, Big Dave said this was his best match, and I can give it 4.25 stars.
Yeah, makes sense.
About 8.
Up the Dave.
Yes. 8.5 in his scale, essentially. And yeah, I think sorry, a good match. Maybe not good match, bordering on great. I wouldn't say must see though.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's sort of maybe on the level below must see where you go.
I think before it, like you say, is must see, but it's like you say, oh, how the match was overall. It's like, it could have been better.
One of them things you maybe need to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Unless the blackface, you want to avoid that.
Yes. just kind of skirt around the blackface.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that moves us on to our main event. With no video package. It's very weird considering we had 3 lower card matches, all the video packages. But I don't remember any of the.
I don't remember the start of SummerSlam.
Okay, yeah, I might have something then, but we didn't have
I think there was a video package at the start.
Not this much. Oh, yeah. That starts SummerSlam. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess there was. Okay. Guys, I did not write that down. So maybe there probably was something.
But there was a video package right at the start of the show. So
yeah.
Okay. But we did weirdly just go straight into the match, which I always thought I was seeing as nowadays you'd have a match package. Match sort of
advert.
Yeah, but advert.
Celebrity spotting.
Yes. Which it's kind of surprised me. But anyway, main event is Steve Austin versus The Undertaker for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. basically storyline going into this is the Undertaker's sort of being a bit weird, teaming up with Kane, but also not teaming up with Kane. Can Austin trust the Undertaker to not to basically fuck him over and bring in Kane and whoever Vince wants to get back the WF title? So pretty simple story, all in all, I'd say. The final segment, the final Raw, I remember being really good for this storyline. I basically did like about 3 weeks worth of storyline in one. Sort of threaded it through the show, which was good. And that also set up the tag team title match as well. I believe from what I've heard of these, both Austin and Undertaker also just completely banged up and injured on their ends. They didn't mention anything specifically. They just mentioned they were like having niggling injuries, which may explain how this match went in some sense, because it was, I think, best way to describe it is that this was maybe left us wanting more. It was very in the ring. I'd say, especially to start off with. So Undertaker coming out in his big scary coat with the headrest, and then Austin comes out big pop as per usual. A bit muted, I'd say, compared to normal, but I think people are probably recovering from the exciting ladder match. And yeah, we kind of get started with both men shoving each other, with Taker getting the best of the shoving because he's big boy, strong boy, and takes Austin down with a big clothesline for 2. Both men sort of do some almost chain wrestling bits from wrist locks. Austin gets in a roll up. Then we get a drop toe hold for some ball mat wrestling in this Attitude Era main event. And Austin grinds Taker down with a arm lock for about a minute or so. Again, bit out of character. Austin gets a DDT when Taker breaks out of it, but he gets countered into a suplex by Taker. Taker then misses an elbow on the prone Austin. Gives Austin some brief respite, and then Taker just gets back on top with a stun gun over the ropes. Gets Taker a 2 count. Taker then targets Austin's back, the corner, and does a lot of stomps and throws him to the ring post, etc. on the outside. Austin sort of fights back by attacking the leg of Taker, as Jim Ross always says, working the vertical base, which is sensible thing to do if you're against a big boy. Taker sort of fights him off, sort of publishing the Undertaker big strong boy sort of thing, and goes for old school. I think it was called old school at this point. I don't know if it's current school or slightly in the past school.
Current day school.
Yes, current day school. Which Austin counters. It's not the first time we'll say that much. And does some stomps. Taker. Then we get Kane just wandering out. No real fanfare, he just kind of wanders out there and stares at Austin. Taker tells him to fuck off backstage, and then Kane just does. Bit of a weird thing. There wasn't really much drama there. Kane just sort of stood there and sort of gulps at him, takes on to bugger off. They then continued the match, and Kane just sort of wandered off in the background, back through the gates that they had at the entrance ramp. We then go back to Taker working on Austin's back, and Austin sort of kicking down the leg a bit. I think the first sort of real finishing move we get was a choke slam by Taker onto Austin, but Austin's knackered Taker too much to get a proper cover on it. It's 2. They both roll out to the outside. We get some classic outside brawling, walk and brawl. They then go back into the ring for not too long, but then go back outside again, run through the crowd. And then after that, with Taker on top after I think he did a bigger backdrop to Austin on the concrete outside. And then they sort of wander back over to the ring. Taker sets up Austin on the Spanish announce table. He's the big spot of the match, and I think the only thing that people would remember about it is Taker climbing up to the top rope on the corner and doing a big wee onto the Spanish announce table. Doesn't really break. Taker kind of overshoots it a little bit and gets fucked into the chairs. And the table doesn't break until we cut back from the replay where it's just broken. Yes. I am the table.
I am the table.
As Botsmania would say. This only gets Taker a close 2 counts because it's both men are knackered. And Taker's on top again, obviously. Corner attacks. And then big spot. Then obviously corner attack. Goes for a big splash. He misses really, and Austin gets back on top for a bit. And we get a double clothesline for double down the ring. That's pretty hot at this point. And we also get, I think, what might have been a botch. I'm not sure. Where Austin goes for a stunner. Then
felt a little bit like a botch.
Yeah. Kind of just. If Taker was behind, he wasn't in the right position for something or to counter it. They just kind of fell on each other. Which, to be fair, the commentators kind of covered for by going, "Oh, it's a weird counter. Ooh, Austin, both of them are going to be hurt by this." But yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're even going for. Really, like I don't know if Taker was just out of position to do a proper stunner counter, or whether Taker was just grabbing from behind or something. But yeah, that was a very interesting looking thing. Anyway, not too far from the finish of the match. Another chokeslam attempt by Taker, but chokeslam is then reversed into a stunner attempt, which is then also reversed, and Austin is sort of Austin is just oozled over the top rope. Taker then goes for old school again. Like before, Austin counters it, but this time just by whacking Taker in the dick as he's on his way down. And he hits a stunner and wins. So the 2 final matches end in a low blow, basically. Taker hands Austin the belt after the match, and him and Kane, he goes outside, him and Kane stare at him, and we fade to black. I don't know, as I said, expected more from this. It was nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with this match outside of the weird botch. But it felt a bit like this was sort of almost an autopilot match they could do outside of Taker's big launch into the Spanish announce table. Thoughts, Eloise?
Really? It was just so one note, sort of. Let's see, two good wrestlers, varying levels. But yeah, this needed more. This needed to be a bigger thing, and what they wanted to do fell flat and definitely missed whatever mark they were trying to hit. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say. It's just a bit of a meh way to end sort of okay show.
Yes. Chuck?
The ending felt abrupt. There was that cool dive that Undertaker did onto outside the ring. That was like one of the really only bright spots of the match. Like best spots of the match, definitely. Besides that, it was kind of on standard Attitude Era Raw main event. Like instead of being SummerSlam.
Yeah. That very much felt like a not a big 4 pay-per-view main event.
Like I think like overall for it, it's just I think the crowd was also a little bit burnt out too from like the match before, because again, that's what really helped that last match, the match before. Like the crowd went all out crazy for that match, and it kind of really was Triple H's best look as a face till he came back all those years later from that injury. But yeah, honestly, I think this match felt more like a Raw main event, and in a way, you could even say that you could put the ladder match as the main event, and that would have been a better looking field to end SummerSlam than what we had there. But it's Undertaker, it's Austin. They were the two main guys in the company at the time. Triple H and Rock was still on the come up, so in truth, that it had to be the main event for the times. But
Just they spent all the roles hyping up this specific match really throughout, so they couldn't really put it anywhere but the main event.
Yeah,
but I do agree with you. Someone else was going to ask this. You could swap the last two matches around. Don't think the crowd reactions would change too much. In fact, maybe the crowd reactions would be slightly better for this match,
and that would have hit more because of it.
Yeah. And we kind of so just felt a bit. I don't know. Do you think they felt like they saw a really good match before and just kind of went, we can't really match this in our state?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of do a autopilot with that one spot we wanted to do.
Yeah, I think so. I think overall, the way how crazy that match ended up being for them, for the crowd, this match just it kind of felt like a lack of better words, a drag. Like it just felt like a brawl slog, and just throughout, just didn't come up to where it was trying to be as that main event, as it was trying to be billed as with all the build up with the feud itself and things like that. So.
Yeah, 20 years was 20 minutes 52 seconds, and it did felt like it. As I just went on the show. Really, can't just it's kind of with their match. I guess the crowd went home happy because Steve Austin won. They all love Austin, but I wouldn't. I kind of. I'm gonna say it felt a bit shortchanged because. You could easily see them just say with them both being knackered, just do a sort of standard thing that will get the crowd excited and happy on the night. But yeah, this could have been a lot more. I think they did do better stuff later on.
Yeah,
between themselves, whereas this was just kind of there, really. So ratings, Eloise.
6. I had that 6 out of 10.
Chuck.
I agree, 6. Yeah.
Yep. So clean sweep here. I'm going to go for 6 as well.
6. That's good.
Yes. Yeah. I think this is the first one we all agreed on the rating as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. And it's all to call this match a bit mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's everyone's thoughts on the show overall then? I guess it's kind of almost a sort of a microcosm of this era. Lots of weird finishes. Sort of thrown together mid-card matches on a pay-per-view that weren't really built up. And I think all the focus on, I guess, would have been the first the final two matches. Really.
Yeah.
But the rest kind of not feel like an afterthought as such, but very much distinction between the final two and the rest of the card. Almost a hallmark of Vince Russo in a sense. It's not because seeing he was often given credit for giving everyone a storyline, etc. But yeah, this is it didn't feel like in the show. Eloise.
Well, yeah. So the whole show is just kind of meh. Like obviously, it's just as you said, it's an example of the era being bad. Mid card, bad bad start of the show, bad middle of the show, and then the end kind of gets more interesting. But main event then made it flat again. It's obviously had some stand-up matches, including the ladder match and the Lions Den match. But the rest, if the match was bad, it was very bad, and if the match was good, it was decent. Definitely. I would definitely say it's like a 6 out of 10 pay-per-view. It's just kind of middle of the road, okay.
Yeah. Joke.
I think for me, it was trying. It was the part of the Attitude Era where it was trying to find its footing. I think honestly, it was you had a match to help make two stars that was really lingering in the mid card to take it to the next step and feel like they were going to be main eventers very soon. Matches that had potential to being really good, but kind of just fell flat at the end. And overall, it just they were trying to find their footing amongst everything. And I think with everything that will come later, like the legendary Backlash pay-per-view year later after it, and some other, like No Way Out as one of the more established Attitude Era pay-per-views that people loved. This was kind of in a way, a filler of the Big Four, and just a way of like for the Attitude Era to find its footing later on, and to really get towards being more white hot. And that's kind of where I see it in a sense. It's a build up to something else to transition to that next part of the era.
And the rating, if you're going to give a number, Chuck.
7.
Okay. Yeah, I can't really disagree with you. I was a bit more maybe up on the undercard than maybe Eloise was with. I thought Dealer Brown Valerius was good. I suppose Jeff Jarrett had its moments as well. But yeah, there's a lot of guff, a lot of almost filler stuff, even including the main event and that really, where like he could have easily put that on the Raw and maybe put something a bit more better, just a bit more relevant on this show. Yeah, there's not a lot of like the first two matches you could have no build, but both of them featured feud essentially. Like Val Venus and Kai and Tai were in a feud, but they were split into two separate matches at this point. You could have very easily gotten rid of the Oddities match and
had Venus versus Taka.
Yeah,
straight up
Venus versus Taka. Yeah, could easily put Taka in the. Just put Taka in the European title match as well. I think that would have been a pretty good job.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot better. I think and could have easily had some more bollocks. Yeah, definitely. And then but the other stuff like Legend Saber, that's just God, I can understand why they wanted to do that. She was really popular at this point. Yeah, just but I say there was some good stuff. There's a lot of filler. I think I'd probably inside of Chuck and go for a 7 with this one. Because outside of the ladder match and the Lions Den match, which I think those are the two matches you should watch. The rest you can skip. That's for sure. So, just to round this off, Eloise, match of the night and MVP of the show.
Ooh, well, obviously, that's a tough one. Obviously, match of the night's easy, but I'm thinking here of the show. Match of the night is definitely is definitely the Intercontinental title ladder match with Rock and Triple H. And you might need to come back to me of the show.
Okay. Chuck, match of the night and MVP on your end.
All right. The obvious match of the night, people would say the ladder match, but my personal match of the night, Lions Den. I thought it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it more than I thought I did back then. It was ahead of its time, and my MVP in the night, I give it to freaking Owen Hart. I think he really showed out during that match, even as he lost. He really made Shamrock look really good, and just it kept up with him and kept up with each other, because Owen was the more pro wrestling veteran wrestler, and Shamrock had his past in pro wrestling. He was one of the top pain craze guys, which was a bit of MMA pro wrestling back in Japan. But I like those, like Owen Hart really, really took bumps for him, and I can't help but respect that. And I think underrated other part is I think Owen Hart's the MVP of the weekend, and match of the night for me personally is the Lions Den.
Yeah. I am honestly tugging on what I think the match tonight. I am going to give it to ladder match, but only just. I was honestly kind of expecting just the ladder match thing, as you say, but yeah, I don't know. The Lions Den matches, I really enjoyed it, and I kind of supposed to do more of it, really. Outside of until like 20 years later, of course, in NXT.
Yeah.
But I think there's a reasonable potential to have a. You could easily. It's difficult to tell you who else you could put in there who would be equally as good against like and Shamrock, maybe The Rock, later on. But yeah, I suppose maybe if they had it earlier on, and you could go through some of the Hart family, that would be pretty cool. Like a Bret Hart or a Bulldog.
Yeah,
in this match type, that'd be an interesting idea.
Yeah, you could have continued that with a feud in itself. Like Bret Hart come back to defend his brother and things like that, and like you can't just do that to my brother without going through me. Yeah,
obviously he wasn't going to do that, of course, but
because he's in WCW. I think he's WCW at this time.
He is in WCW, I believe. So. Yes, because he came out at Starrcade in 1997 and messed up the refereeing, didn't he? Of course. Yes. And I'm gonna say Ken Shamrock for the MVP just to not overlap Chuck's, because I think he did he put a really good performance on in that Lions Den match.
Yeah.
The flip
I can see that. Yeah.
His many flips off the cage.
Oh yeah, no, those are great.
It was really good, and he had his working boots on. Eloise, I think you need your MVP.
So my MVP of the night, I struggled to think, as I don't know if I could give it to either of the ladder matches because they were good. I wanted to be a bit more interesting on my pick, and then obviously you've just almost like hoovered up the entirety of the Lions Den match. So honorable mention is D'Lo Brown's chest protector is close second to my MVP, but my MVP is it has to be Mankind promo, the 13 words promo.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's doing an okay job, but it's for like
he did the best.
He did multiple segments during the night, and also got beat the fuck up, and then got killed in a dumpster.
Yes.
But the promo was peak.
Yeah. Honorable mention to Howard Finkel as well.
Howard Finkel.
Howard Finkel's a good one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because he looked like he really enjoyed himself.
Yeah.
Once.
So shout outs to ladders because they're very hard to climb around.
Yeah.
Yes. The real MVP of all wrestling shows, ladders.
Ladders.
And on that bombshell, I think it's time to wrap up episode 2 of Howling at the Moonsault. So, Eloise, where can we find you if you want to be found?
Back alleys.
And on social media.
Yeah, occasionally. So who getting from me?
Okay, Chuck, where can we find you?
Just getting tortured by my friends. But yeah, a big man on campus on X, big man on campus of Blue Sky. It's a big man on campus on Instagram, big man on campus AA on Twitch. Been a while. I may stream in the next few days, but we'll see. It's gonna be a busy time. Not gonna lie. But yeah.
And you can find me, I don't know, I'm Malteser Falcon Falcon in most places. I don't really post anything, so I'm there. Yes, and with that, we will see you all whenever we do our next episode. We don't know what it's going to be yet, so you'll find out when you get it. Bye.
Bye.